everyone, it's week 24 and welcome to another Project Life Process video finally. I haven't gotten around to doing a video in quite a while because I just started my rotations for medical school and I've just had crazy hours. So I'm finally getting around to posting a video and yeah, I'm excited. So this is back in July or I think even June, and during this time I was studying for a really big test and just had nothing interesting to take pictures of for the most part. So my solution was to do the 4 large vertical photos, so that way I only had to do 1 filler card and then have 3 photos. So on the left side, that's a continuation of that, whereas on the right side I'm actually going back to my regular format. So here I'm just stamping out the week number with the usual number stamps I use, and I'm doing it on vellum so I can do it in white, and then that kind of sits nicely on top of that red card. And then I'm just adding another little embellishment from Dear Lizzie, and I think the aqua and red is sort of the theme for this layout. I also used a little label that came from the Currently collection kit. I still have a bunch of these ephemera to use. It's my goal to use all of them in my project life this year, so we'll see if I can actually do that. I'm just embellishing with some staples, and this is kind of like the weekly card I have in all of my other spreads, but it's a little different just because it's big and vertical, or it's like a bigger size. So it's honestly, the way it looks is there is a lot of blank space, so it's not my absolute favorite thing, but I think it works well enough. And then here I have this picture against this gray wall, and I'm going to stamp this Enjoy stamp. It's from a Kelly Purkey kit, or maybe it's a regular stamp set, I can't remember, but I'm stamping it with the Moonlight White ink and it looks amazing. I think this is the most amazing the ink has ever looked. And then I'm just adding the label stamp below it. Honestly, I'm a little bit sick of this pattern. I think I'm going to switch things up next year and I'm not even going to do a weekly layout at all, and I'm not going to have the weekly photo of myself. I just think it's just hard to have good photos of yourself that are actually interesting. I feel like a lot of the photos I have are photos of other things. So yeah, and then here I dropped my label and I was using glue and it won't come off of that photo, so there's a smudge on it. At some point maybe I'll go back and redo it, but it doesn't really bother me that much. So, and then here I'm just writing around myself with a white pen, and again it looks really great on this gray background. It's just like the best this pen could look. So that's 1/2 done. Then on the other side I have a picture of a flower from the yard, and I'm just going to leave that alone. And then I am messing with this red clip because I wanted to bring that bright red from the left side over to the right side somewhere. So I stick it there, but then I do end up moving it. And then the other card is just a filler card from a Kelly Purkey kit. It said the world is my oyster, and I don't know, I guess I was feeling very simple while doing this layout, so I didn't mess with it or add any embellishment. Maybe I will at some point. And then here, this is just a picture of my workspace, super boring, so I'm going to add another little file icon from the Currently ephemera, and then I'm going to write work in these white alphas. And then I tried writing under it in white, but then my pen wasn't behaving, and then I tried in black and it still looked off. So my solution was then to take a label and then put it right under that to do a little journaling. It looks a little, maybe not how I would have originally done it, but I think the colors match nicely. And then lastly, I have a flip pocket. I already made it with my my fuse tool, and I have these 2 pictures, one of my dog and then one of my dog with my parents' dog. And since I love both of them, they're just both some of the most adorable pictures I've ever seen. But I just feel like it would be too much of a layout if I put both of them on. So that's why I've decided to do the flip pocket. And so on this one, I just stamped favorites, and then I add a little heart sticker between them. They really don't like each other, which is really funny, but I'm going to pretend that they do here. Maverick, my parents' dog, is old and grouchy, and my dog is young and wild, and he's just too much for my parents' dog. So on this one, I stamped This Gives Me Life, and then I was originally going to just keep stamping it, but then I decided to try it in black, and this really didn't add anything to it, but it's fine, it doesn't bother me, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. And I'm just going to move that red clip down a little bit because I think it looks nicer in the black and white photo. And that's the end of my layout. So here's a look at the final thing. I hope you enjoyed seeing a new video from me, and I don't know exactly when I'll be back, but I hope it's pretty soon. I have a bunch more layouts to share.